Today on our 2018 Toyota Corolla, we're going to be test fitting the Yakima FullBack 2 bike rack for trunk mounts, part number Y02634. We already have our bike installed on the rack. Let's take a closer look here and show off some of the features. Starting off at our ends here, on the one we have the Yakima bottle opener, which is pretty common among most of their bike racks. On the other end, however, we do have this integrated cable lock. How it works is if you were to have a bike on the outer cradles here, this would come out, wrap around the frame of that, and attach to this point here and lock into place to secure your bikes onto the bike rack. The cradles themselves are stationary, meaning they don't move back and forth or side to side, but they do have this TPE padding on the top, which is actually going to act as kind of a shock absorber for when you hit those bumps to help protect the frames of your bikes. The bottom part of the ZipStrip here is also padded to help with the frames of your bikes as well. How this actually attaches to the bike rack, we'll have two ZipStrips up at the top as well as one off to the side here. That's going to serve as an anti-sway cradle to keep the bike from moving too far back and forth and causing bike-to-bike contact. Also, if your tire should make contact with your vehicle, meaning it turns in once you initially have it installed, it does come with a wheel strap to hold the closest bike tire in place. And when both bikes are attached, there's a much longer strap that wraps around both, as well as the bike rack itself, to keep everything nice and compact while you're traveling, to keep it from moving around. So let's go ahead and take the bike off and set it aside. It's very easy with the ZipStrips here. There are these two tabs on either side. You just push them in at the same time, which will release it, and it pulls right off. And a little helpful hint here, with the anti-sway cradles, those do push up out of the way like you see here, and that's going to make removing the bike or putting the bike on much easier to the inside, because if this were down all the way, you'd kind of have to shimmy it back and forth to get it in place. To see how easy that was. We'll put our ZipStrip back into place. Don't want to lose them. And with it in this position, I'd like to give you a quick measurement. Measuring from the edge of the bumper to our outermost point, we've added about 23 inches to the rear of the vehicle. Now these arms do fold down for those close quarter situations like parking or putting it back in your garage. And coming to the center here, there are these two light gray dials or hubs on either side. You push those up while holding on to the arm, and that'll release it. Now one thing to note, you do have to hold on with your hand here, because once it's in the release mode, it'll fall right down. You don't want it to hit your vehicle. We'll move our cradle out of the way so we can put this down a little bit more. With it folded down now, again measuring from the edge of the bumper, now we've only added about 3.5 inches to the rear of the vehicle, so that's a significant difference. How these are attached to the trunk, we're going to have 4 points of contact. We're going to have two rubber-coated steel hooks up at the top that fit inside the trunk, as well as two at the base, and these are labeled as such. Now something to note for this particular model of vehicle, you can't see the hooks on the top part of the trunk here. Instead, it uses an anchor system. And how that works is, we have an extra strap here. See how it's labeled as top? What you do is you take the strap, and there's this open slot. You pull it through like so, nice and tight, like that, and then it gets set into the trunk where it sits in like that and is pulled up on the inside to keep it from moving around. Where it makes contact with the vehicle is also going to be padded, such as these two nice thick pads here, where it makes contact with our rear windshield, as well as where it makes contact with the base of our trunk. How we get to this position, we have the central hub here, and that's how you adjust it for your specific vehicle. And for this vehicle, the hub setting on this is going to be 4, and you'll find that along the back side here. This does and can work with other vehicles, so if you have other vehicles with trunks or hatches, this may work with that as well. Just double check with the vehicle's instructions or the manufacturer's instructions to be sure. And there you have it for the Yakima FullBack 2 bike rack on our 2018 Toyota Corolla. First, we'll take it onto our slalom course. This will show you the side-to-side action, such as making turns or evasive maneuvers. Now we're at the alternating speed bumps. This will show you how it looks driving on uneven pavement or potholes. Finally, we're at the solid speed bumps, which simulates going into your driveway or parking lots.